Along with you on Bright Start 100.1 KYFM, Steve Maury, Christian Favalora, along with you as well. And we are just about set as the Owasso Rams get ready to try to make it two in a row as they had a shutout win over Edmond North at home last week. And tonight, it's the first Thursday night action of the season, Steve Maury, as the Rams on the road to visit Norman North in our first trip to the Oklahoma City Metro. I know you've missed the traffic.
Always fun to come down the turnpike and spend 2.5 hours in traffic. And as I always say every year when we come over here, you come down through all the construction and you just got to wonder, when's it all going to be done?
Well, we almost didn't get to Norman High School. We we were almost like these planes circling in the pattern over here. We were circling.
We did
Norman,
take the scenic route
on the ground trying to find Norman High School. But we got here. We're on the air and ready to go tonight for what we hope is a great ball game between the Rams and, of course, Norman North, a team that we beat 60-28 over a year ago.
Well, and you come in with different ball clubs here tonight. I don't think Norman North's going to have near the firepower that they've had in the past. The Stoops brothers have graduated along with some other key players, but still a team that can put a lot of points on the board. And the Rams defense, as they've done all season, are going to have to step up to that challenge here tonight.
Well, we've got a great broadcast ahead of us tonight, as of course we're just about set. Both teams have been warming up. The field is empty right now as they both retreated back to their respective locker rooms. We've got a few people who have made the trip down from Owasso tonight. We expect that crowd to grow. Lots going on back home, gathering on Main. We've got a ninth grade game at Owasso High School, a one-act play in the Owasso Drama Department. So there's some divided loyalties this evening, but we do know for those who aren't here, we're going to have a nice crowd on the radio and TV tonight.
Ought to be a lot of family back at home, friends there at the gathering, and also ball games in other areas around the metro area, and some other key matchups in this Class 6A1 and district play here going on tonight as well.
If you are headed down to the gathering, I want to send a shout out to our sponsors at First Assembly of God. Owasso First Assembly is actually going to show the game tonight in their booth at the gathering on Main. So if you were down there, you might want to check the score from time to time. If you haven't taken your Walkman down there, you can definitely just get after it with the video broadcast at the OFA booth. So, Steve, talk about the team that you saw last year versus what you are expecting tonight.
Well, actually, Grant, it was a lot of weaponry going back and forth, and of course the Rams, with that high-powered offense, came in and were able to take a lot of plays away, but Will Keeney and a couple other guys that were pretty key for that Ram ball club, such as Bryce Cabrera. We continue to talk to him game after game as to what he did last year. You also had Josh Proctor with a 56-yard touchdown pass. Deuce Mayberry had an interception. But like we were talking about, you don't have Isaac Stoops, who had a couple of big plays in that game. You don't have Drake Stoops, who had a big play in that game. So a Norman North team that I think you have to be careful of and wary of, because a team that's 1-4, 1-1 in district play can be very dangerous. And the Rams, I think, which is, we've heard Coach Blankenship reiterate, I think it's going to be important tonight for the Rams offensively to come out and start fast. We're not going to be able to spot 14 points as we had in the earlier games, much like they did last week. Come in and really just try to break the spirit of this Norman North Timberwolf ball club and try to take it from there, because the Timberwolves really don't show the ability to be able to come back and put a lot of points on the board, having fallen last week to the Moore Lions 37-0. So I think it's going to be important tonight for the Rams to get off to a quick start.
We are looking forward to bringing you tonight's broadcast. It's brought to you by a number of great sponsors, and as we pause for the national anthem, we'll pause for another 3 minutes ourselves. Stay with us. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on KYFM.
And the captains are making their way to midfield for the coin toss.
In Norman, I'm Grant Merrill along with Steve Mowry, Christian Favalora, and Rob Williams as we are just about set for Owasso Rams football here on KYFM, online at InsideOwasso.com, and also on the Owasso Sports Network and the Owasso Rams app. We've got plenty of ways for you to watch this evening. About 5 minutes away from kickoff, our starting lineups are brought to you by Duralast Roofing. Zach Harbaugh and his crew ready to take care of you and your family when it comes to your roof. Our starters include Will Keeney. He's, of course, in at quarterback this evening. Isaiah Jacobs in at running back. Grant Van Landingham and Trey Goins playing both wide receiver positions. Dawson Adams and Chance Lucas playing the individual slot positions. Mario Kirby is at halfback tonight. Left tackle is Tyler Dillingham. Grayson Isaac in at left guard tonight. Javon Richbow at center. Right guard is Louis Boizo. Jackson Cordes is going to be at right tackle tonight. Hilton Mosby, back from his injury, in at that tight end position. Hayden Grant is starting at defensive end this evening for the Owasso Rams. Aiden Odell at defensive tackle. Hilton Mosby is going to be in at nose tackle tonight. Cayman Seavers playing the defensive end position. Outside linebacker Ahmad Triplett. Inside linebackers, Kewan Hay and Jaden Thomason. Free safety is Gage Laney. Strong safety, Dawson Adams. And a cornerback, we're going to be starting Omar Barker and Deuce Mayberry this evening. Alex Haight starting at punter tonight. Christian Johnson, your place kicker. Alex working the kickoffs as well. Dawson Adams in the holder position. Mario Kirby, the long snapper. Logan Kirkpatrick, the short snapper tonight. Dawson Adams returning punts. And Isaiah Jacobs on the kick return as well. Stay with us. We've got more coming up. The opening coin toss coming your way right now as they decide who's going to do what in the first half. We'll tell you we'll tell you where that's coming after this timeout. You're listening to Owasso Ram football on 100.1 KYFM and online at InsideOwasso.com.
To the third, Norman North will receive.
Field in Norman, where the Owasso Rams are getting set to take on the Norman North Timberwolves. Steve Mallory has actually moved down below us into the stands tonight. Now, Mallory, the deal is, if Barry Switzer comes up here and wants to do color, I need you to give up the headset just for a quarter. I cannot let Barry Switzer on the air. I'm not giving up any of my airtime. Comes up with the right price, I might negotiate. Of course, his grandson Jacob, one of the starters for Norman tonight. We gave you the starting lineups for the Owasso Rams, and we're just about set for the opening kick here in just a moment. Our keys to victory brought to you by Pastor Bruce McCarty and the crew at Owasso First Assembly of God. And Steve, let's just go ahead and go over those three keys to victory. If we're to narrow it down this evening, what are those keys?
Well, it always starts with the line of scrimmage. I think the Rams are going to have to be wary up front, especially on the offensive side. Norman North likes to play what we call that minnow bucket defense, and so they like to bring their defensive line and move players around. They like to get Mashford in a place where he can blitz and come in and cause havoc, which he's really good at. So when you line up on defense, you got to know where number 46 is. And then, of course, on offense, I think it's going to start with the running game. Isaiah Jacobs, you want him to try to get going here tonight, and the arm of Will Keeney. I think those are going to be the important things for the Rams, including having a fast start here in this first quarter.
I will say that Norman North has got a pretty interesting setup here. They've got these LED lights that are right above Steve's head, and when I look down upon him, he almost looks like he has the luck of the Irish with him tonight.
Probably look like an angel, yes.
There, of course, we say that to let you know that Norman North is in their home green with the white numbers and the white trim tonight. Owasso in their road white with the crimson and maroon numbers and the black pants or gray pants this evening. So we're just about set for game time as they put a fresh new 12 minutes on the clock. And Steve, I tell you, we've seen bigger crowds, but Owasso, for everything that we've got going on at home, has brought a few people down tonight.
Not a bad contingency to make the trek down the turnpike, and excited to see them here this evening.
All right, just about set for the opening kick. Norman North is going to be receiving early in this ball game. They'll move from right to left on your radio dial, and they will send back deep to receive for the Timberwolves. Blaine Martin setting up shop at about the 5-yard line, and also Dalton Smith. And we are just about set for action here this evening as it'll be Will Phelps kicking off for Owasso as he tees it up at the 40-yard line. And we are just about underway here in Norman tonight. Here comes the kick. It is right down the middle of the field. It is going to bounce at the 15, picked up at the 12 from right to left. Here he comes to the 25 up to the 31-yard line, and that is where Norman North will have it 1st and 10 to get things started tonight, Steve.
Trey Goins coming in, making the tackle. A good stop there by the Rams, good coverage, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Timberwolves at the at the Timberwolves. What do you see there about the 31-yard line?
31-yard line, yes, sir. 11:56 left to go, first quarter action, 4 seconds into this thing. Norman North trying to punch from right to left on the radio dial. As we'll tell you, their quarterback is going to be, I'll tell you who that is here in just a second. They're about ready to take the snap here. Handoff, first man through. He is going to be pummeled at about the 33-yard line. Starting at quarterback, Jackson Romaldo for Norman North this evening. His ball carrier gets a gain of about 2 yards on the play, and that'll bring up time's generous, say 2nd and 9 now for the Timberwolves, moving right to left.
Great job by the interior of that Ram defense. Aiden Odell there on the inside. He's going to be wearing number 79 here this evening for the Rams.
2nd and 9 from the 32-yard line. Romaldo, the quarterback, with a man behind him, the man to the right of him, splitting the hash marks here, taking the snap, handoff, first man through. Ball carrier is going to get to the 34-yard line, and that's where he's stopped and stuffed. On the run there is Blaine Martin, the junior running back for the Timberwolves.
He took a lick early by Ethan Pfeiffer right there at the line of scrimmage and was able to move forward just a little bit before Hayden Grant able to make the stop, but this is the type of situation you want about a 3rd and 4 for this Timberwolf offense.
To the 37-yard they go. Clock ticking with 10:51 left to go in the first quarter. Down the turnpike and on the road for our first Thursday night action of the football season.
Double tight end.
And now Romaldo getting ready to take the snap here. Rolling out to the left, a direct snap. Goes into the hands of Martin, and
second effort was able to get through. He was met short of the first down, but that second effort allowed the running back to be able to move the chains.
Got just past the first down marker, and they'll move those up for a first down for the Norman North Timberwolves tonight.
Timberwolves just lined up big and brought it right to us that time, so have to make some adjustments and make sure we cover those gaps.
1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. Romaldo, the quarterback, ready to take the snap here. Does so. On the keeper, tries to dive to the left. He'll get down to the 44-yard line for maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Should bring up 2nd and about 9 if they give him any gain at all. I don't think they're going to.
None, as Cayman Severs came up and made the play, and no gain on the play. Severs had that great game last week, was named Defensive Player of the Week for this Owasso defense, and continuing the job there tonight.
Good stop there for Severs in the defense as Norman North continues to Try to charge forward, moving right to left if you're just joining us. 2nd and 10, Timberwolves. Handoff from Romaldo to Martin. He's up to the 45-yard line, gets up to about the 48, and that is going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Timberwolves.
Just a great play by Aiden Odell as he jumped into the gap, was actually blocked down to the ground, but on his back, able to grab an ankle of the running back and just hung on, got drugged a little bit. Again, a 3rd and long here for Norman North.
9:12 left to go in the first quarter on the John E. Kohler Custom Watches game clock. Ready to take the snap is Romaldo. On 3rd and 5, faking a handoff. He'll drop back to throw. Overthrows his receiver just a little bit. And his receiver was the tight end, wide open. He may have even scored on that play. Trying to see who that was. Jake Roberts, the junior tight end, 6'5", 220. And Grant, he was completely behind the defense that time as the safety sank up. If Ronaldo is able to make that pass, that's a problem for the Rams. I'm going to tell you one thing, Steve. If it takes us a minute to get a number, Norman North's jerseys are black numbers on dark green. So not the easiest to see from up here in the press box, or I may just need to visit my optometrist. I'm not really sure. Here comes the kick as they will punt it away on 4th down, end over end. It is going to be fielded by Gage Laney at the 22-yard line, and that is where Owasso will have their first touch of the football, 1st and 10.
So we get our first opportunity to see the Rams' offense here in this first quarter. 8:52 to go. No score in our ball game. This key district matchup here this evening.
Would love to go 2-1 in district play tonight, for sure.
Rams came into tonight ranked at number 7 in the state with a 2-3 record. Norman North 1-4, unranked at this point.
Will Keeney with Isaiah Jacobs, the single back behind him. Keeney taking the snap here, handoff to Jacobs, trying to find a hole up the middle. They'll get to the 25, gain of 3 on the play, should bring up 2nd and 7 for the Rams.
Well, we mentioned our defensive player of the game last week, and there was Isaiah Jacobs, our offensive player.
Absolutely.
On the run.
Doing a great job tonight. Of course, you heard Coach Blankenship in the pregame interview talking about how excited Isaiah Jacobs got. He got so excited he lost the football a couple of times, but I think he'll probably had that cured. Quick pass up to the right to Jacobs. He catches it, goes to the 30, up to the 34-yard line. Should be good enough for a Westerman Financial Services first down, and they're moving up those chains as he gets up to the 33.
And he was brought down by Quan Williams, a junior defensive back, but not before some punishment was issued there by Jacobs.
That'll bring up 1st and 10 off the right hash mark. Keeney will take it out of the gun with trips set to the left, one man to the right. Faking a handoff, he'll sling it up the left side of the field. The man's got room. That's Dawson Adams up to the 45 and get to the 50. That's where he's brought down at midfield. It's another Westerman Financial Services first down.
It's one of those run-pass options as Will drops back, goes to his left a little bit, and sees what the safety is going to do. The safety came up to take Will out of the play, and he flips it out to Dawson Adams for a big gain.
Twins to the right, one man split to the left. That's Peyton Lusk. Isaiah Jacobs directly behind the quarterback, Keeney. He'll take the snap, handing off to Jacobs over around the right end. He'll get back up to the 50-yard line, and that's where he's brought down. They had stopped him at the 48 on the last play, so that'll actually be a 2-yard gain to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Rams.
Grant, we're seeing this Ram football club. They try to run east and west, but that's just really not their forte. They do a better job when they just run north and south, hit the hole quickly, as Norman North did a good job of stringing that out here to the near side of the field to make the play. 2nd and 8 for the Rams.
From midfield, out of the gun comes Keeney, taking the snap, dropping back to throw, looking, trying to find somebody, and he's got Grant Van Landingham down at the 40-yard line. Break free, breaks one, tries to break two, but either way, he'll get down to the 34-yard line. Huge gain of 15 yards will bring up another Westerman Financial Services first down.
Nice job by Grant Van Landingham, the senior, 6'2", 192. He's a matchup problem there on the outside before Weston Peck is able to bring him down, but a big first down for the Rams. A great throw by Will Keeney once again.
From the 33, here comes Keeney off the left hash mark. Those twins split out to the right, dropping back to throw this time. He keeps it instead. Tries tries to find a lane of traffic that's shut down immediately. He'll get back up to the original line of scrimmage, but not much further, if any further. Looks like it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, probably an assignment missed up front as Keeney had green jerseys right in front of him as soon as he took the snap. So 2nd and long, 2nd and 10 here for the Rams. 6:20 to go here in the first.
All right, here we go. Dropping back to throw. Keeney looking, trying to find somebody. Runs forward instead. He's on his horse at the 25. Almost breaks a tackle with the 20. Finally brought down at the 19-yard line. Either way, good enough for another Westerman Financial Services first down. 1st and 10 Rams just inside the 20.
Tried to run the wheel route out on the left side with Isaiah Jacobs, but it was well covered, and so Will just tucks the ball and runs and able to move the chains again. It was really a nice play. I think you'll see the Rams come back to that play later in the game.
Owasso knocking on the door here. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line officially. Carney and Van Landingham split to the right. Handoff goes to Ahmad Triplett. He breaks up the middle, down to the 10, brought down near the 6-yard line, and that's good enough for another first down as they'll move up those chains.
Great job that time again. I saw an example there, Grant, of just running north and south, hit the hole, and all of a sudden you're past the 2nd level into the 3rd level. Not a good matchup if you want to try to tackle Ahmad Triplett.
Ahmad Triplett, the single back, takes the handoff again, trying to go up the middle, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Owasso, maybe? Yes. Give him 6. They signal the touchdown, and Owasso is on the scoreboard.
Just run off that left side back to back, and that turned into an easy score for the Rams. A great drive here in the first possession of the ball game, an opportunity to go 7 up with this extra point.
That'll bring up Christian Johnson, getting set to kick the extra point with 5:25 left to go in this first quarter of play. Here comes the kick. It is up through the uprights and good. Owasso leading 7-0 over the Norman North Timberwolves. We'll take a break and be back in 30 seconds for the kickoff. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football, presented by InsideOwasso.com on 100.1 KYFM. Steve Malley, Christian Favalora along with you. Getting set for kickoff. Let's go down to Steve for another RCB Bank by the number stats update.
Well, it looks like the Rams able to put together a nice 3-minute, 32-second drive. Took 8 plays and 78 yards, culminated by the 7-yard touchdown run by Ahmad Triplett, who set it up on the previous play with another run. The PAT is good. The Rams up 7-0 here in the first quarter.
RCB Bank ready to make the numbers work for you. Call Skip Nefford, Todd Ward, any of the lenders at RCB Bank here in Owasso as they are ready to help you today. Teeing it up at the 40-yard line. Rams ready to kick it from left to right. Here's the end-over-end kick. It is going to be fielded at the 20-yard line, and the ball carrier ends up meeting a line of defenders for Owasso.
Tackle made by number 20, Jordan Ford.
We'll take a brief time out to take a selfie with Steve Malley.
Because I'm outside. Because I'm outside here with the Norman North crowd, so I want to make sure, in case my picture ends up on a milk carton somewhere, people recognize me.
Am I actually going to maybe make the Undertaker 8789 Twitter feed tonight? Because that would make me famous.
Oh, gosh.
You can follow The Undertaker if you want to for
yeah,
whimsical insight on all things related to life at Owasso. Romaldo is the quarterback, getting ready to take the snap here for the Norman North Timberwolves. Handoff, first man through. He's going to get up to the 25, up to the 30, on his horse at the 35-40. Down at the 44-yard line is Blaine Martin, and that'll be another first down for Norman North.
Rams unable to set the edge that time, and Martin able to break outside for the Norman North Timberwolves' biggest gain of the game so far. They'll take up 1st and 10 and throw on the 44-yard line.
Moving from right to left, if you're just joining us, we've got 5:13 left to go in the first quarter. Owasso leading Norman North 7-0 here in the Metro. Handoff for Maldo. First man through Martin, getting up to the 46-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play will bring him down and bring up 2nd and I think they're going to give him 2nd and 7 and mark it at the 47-yard line, Steve.
Jaden Thomason coming up along with, I believe that may be Jaden Love for this Ram defense. Check that, I'm incorrect. It's actually Matt Lohr who was able to make that tackle, so 2nd and about 7.
Let's see if we can get Matt Lohr for another 60-yard drive like we did 2 games ago. Romaldo, the quarterback, getting ready to take the snap for Norman North, does so. Handoff, Martin trying it up the middle again, gets up to the 49-yard line.
Dawson Adams was able to make the tackle. They pulled the right guard over to the left side, and the guard ran through the hole, and Dawson Adams then slipped in behind the guard, able to make the tackle. So a short gain, if any, on the play. And again, the Rams defense doing a good job putting the Timberwolves in about a 3rd and 7.
3rd down, 7 from the 48, as Steve mentioned. 4:06 to go. First quarter action here in beautiful Norman, Oklahoma, USA.
Gorgeous night.
Yeah.
Especially out here. It's nice and cool.
In the shadows of OU.
Yeah.
And now a flag flying is
procedure against the Timberwolves, so that'll back them up 5 yards, and that may change the gameplay calling for this Timberwolf offense.
Are we allowed to spew any OU Texas hate since we're in Norman today?
And I don't know.
Might keep that to ourselves for a little bit.
Yeah, that wouldn't be kind.
Oh yes, because you were the picture of kindness on Twitter. 3rd down and 11 to go from the 43-yard line. We have to give Steve a hard time. I actually got complimented for giving you a hard time from Ken Grant this week. So 3rd down and 11 from the 43-yard line as Romaldo takes the snap, dropping back to throw. He runs forward instead and makes it back up to the 44 before he's brought down. So back up to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 4th down in the punting situation for the Timberwolves.
Rams just sank back in defensive coverage, did a good job. There was nowhere for Ronaldo to go with the football, and Hilton Mosby able to make the tackle again. Norman North going to have to punt. The Rams should get good field position as they'll line up. Laney back at his 20-yard line.
Laney setting up shop, as you mentioned.
See if the Rams maybe don't try to put on a punt block here.
Here comes the kick. They were successful a couple times last game. Wobbly kick is going to be fielded at the 22-yard line. Gage Laney loses his footing, nowhere to go. He gets to the 25 before he's brought down here, and that'll be up 1st and 10 for the Owasso Rams as they get their 2nd touch of the football tonight.
I tell you, Grant, those are 2 punts, and an exciting thing for me to see on that is that the Rams fielded the punt at about the 20-yard line both times, not allowing the ball to hit the ground and possibly roll inside the 10 or even the 5-yard line. So those are the key plays that we don't see show up in the stat. A great job by Laney.
Will Keeney with Isaiah Jacobs directly behind him. Van Landingham and Keelan Carney split to the right. Peyton Lusk split to the left. If that gives you an idea of what the lineup is like, they'll move into the gun instead. And now Keeney back to throw, finds Lusk on the left side at the 34-yard line. He'll get up for about a 7-yard gain, maybe 6 on the gain, and that'll bring up 2nd and 4. They'll spot him officially at the 33-yard line.
Their corners are playing about 8 yards off.
Keeney with the handoff to Isaiah Jacobs. He tries to bust up the middle, falls just short of a 1st down as he gets to the 38 or so, the 36 or so. So a 4-yard gain will bring up 3rd down and inches. 2:11 left to go in this first quarter of play on a beautiful night in Norman. And now, moving forward, they'll bust through and get up to about the 40-yard line as Keeney takes it forward on the keeper. That'll move up the chains for another Westerman Financial Services 1st down. Number 11 for Norman is going to be Deontay Newson. 1st and 10 from the 41. as a handoff to Keelan Carney. Around the left side he goes. He's at the 45 to the 50. He gets just past the first down marker. They'll move up the chains for another Westerman Financial Services first down. Inside midfield, we'll have it at the 49 of the Timberwolves. 1:44 left to play here. Twins to the right side of the line. Will Keeney ready to take the snap, dropping back to throw. He'll sling it to Peyton Lusk. Lusk up near the first down marker. Ran out of bounds just near the 39-yard line. They may say he was ran out of bounds at about the 41. Actually, that's going to bring up 2nd and 2 now for the Owasso Rams, so they're just shy of another Westerman Financial Services first down.
Again, Grant, continue to watch these Norman North corners. They're anywhere from 7 to 8 yards off.
And now a handoff, Isaiah Jacobs busting up the middle. He'll get up to the 30, up to the 26-yard line, and they'll move up those chains quite a bit, as that's about a 15-yard gain for the Owasso Rams.
Isaiah Jacobs, 5'11", 190 pounds. He looks even thicker than that, as he carried 3 Timberwolves past the chains and on into the secondary that time. He is tough to bring down.
Keeney with twins to each side now. Takes the snap, running up the middle. He'll get up to about the 22-yard line, not much further, so gain of about 4 on the play should bring up 2nd and 6.
Just another methodical drive here by this Owasso Ram offense, doing exactly what we thought they were going to need to do to be successful in our pregame.
1:05 left to go. Isaiah Jacobs taking the handoff, gets up to the 10-yard line almost. Well, he got up to the 15, almost up to the 10, but flags flying.
A late flag on the play. That may go against the Norman North defense unless it's holding downfield, but that...
Well, the chain gang's acting like it's going to be a first down for Owasso.
Yeah. They're waving the flag off.
Yeah, they had seen the Rams get to the 14-yard line on that play, so an 8-yard gain, good enough for another Westerman Financial Services first down, and Owasso knocking on the door, hopefully toward another 6 on the board here.
First down for the Rams on the 22-yard line.
We've got twins to the right, Van Landingham and Carney.
Correction, the 13-yard line.
Lusk split to the left. Isaiah Jacobs next to Keeney of the gun. He'll take it off the left hash mark here. From the 14 they go. Handoff, Isaiah Jacobs around the left side of the 10, up to the 5, flags flying. He's down toward the end zone. In he goes. Touchdown Owasso if this flag doesn't bring it back.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back. I think the Rams, Luis Boizo is going to be credited with a hold. It was right in front, doing the right thing to protect his quarterback, but that was in front of all the television cameras and the entire crowd.
Well, that will negate the excitement of another 6 points on the board. We've got 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, Owasso already leading 7-0 here in Norman tonight. First and about 20 for the Rams.
Penalty moves the ball to the 23. First and 20.
And now Keeney back to throw, finds Lusk on the left side of the 20, up to the 15 he goes, back up to the 13-yard line, and that's where he'll be ran out of bounds. So a gain of 10 on the play should bring up 2nd and 10.
Rams offense has really been trying to get Peyton Lusk involved on the offensive side, and especially here tonight in this first quarter.
19 seconds to play. Back
Doing it
to
again.
throw. He throws it to Lusk. Lusk up at the 10, up to the 9. Ran out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. 4-yard gain will bring up 3rd down and 6. With 8 seconds left to go, they might as well just run the clock out of the first quarter here. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. Our score is 7-0. If you're just joining us, we put 1 in the books here in Norman. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and be back for the second quarter after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football on 100.1 KYFM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Naveen Columbia, orthopedic surgeon with Tulsa Bone and Joint in Owasso. The big thing is that we're here, we're local, and our goals are to provide a quick appointment, but spend time with each patient to explain everything that's going on. We are the official physicians of the Owasso Rams, but we're real excited and very proud to serve the community in Owasso and the surrounding area. Tulsa Bone and Joint obviously has a great reputation in the region. We bring all of that power here to Owasso.
With you tonight here on 100.1 KYFM and inside Owasso.com as a fresh new 12 minutes put on the clock. Rams leading at 7-0, but they're knocking on the door with a 3rd and 6 situation. Let's go to Steve for another RCB Bank by the number stats update.
Well, before the Rams put another score on the board, looking at what going on in the first quarter, the Rams with 13 carries for 84 yards. Will Keeney perfect on the night in the air, 7 of 7 for 68 yards. The Rams with 152 yards. Norman North doing everything on the ground, 42 yards on 9 carries, 0 for 1 in the air, 42 total yards. First downs in the first quarter, 9 for the Rams, only 2 for Norman North.
Keeney taking the snap, drops back to throw, aiming for Lusk. It's overthrown just a bit, and that is going to bring up 4th down and 6 as they'll bring out the field goal team to try to make it a 10-0 ball game in the same fashion that they went up by over Edmond North last week.
Will Keeney has also found 4 different receivers in the ball game so far. Just a bit off the timing mark there, looking for Peyton Lusk. Would have been another Ram touchdown, but coming away with this field goal would certainly help.
Christian Johnson getting set to try the kick here. He'll line it up at the left hash mark as Gage Laney is his holder and a flag on the play.
I believe we had movement.
Yeah, I saw it. It was... They probably saw it back in Owasso. Unfortunately, it was movement on the part of the Rams, and that's going to bring us back a bit.
Well, that may just give Johnson a better angle.
He was kind of close there.
Yeah.
More room to work with. Let's look at it optimistically, right? Here comes Christian Johnson trying to get set here. Again, Gage Laney, the holder. The snap coming. The hold, the kick, it is end over end.
Nice.
Through the uprights. Good, it's 10-0. 11:53 left to go in this first half. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Back after this, you're listening to Owasso Ram Football presented by InsideOwasso.com on 100.1 KYFM.
To get great care for your everyday life, you need more than an everyday doctor. You need one that listens. And that's just what Ascension doctors at St. John do. Listening to you helps us see your whole picture. And with care teams who take the time to understand you, getting the care you need when and where you need it has never been easier. Find care that is right for you at getstjohncare.com.
Sponsor of the Owasso Rams. I see their sign sponsoring Norman North down here. So First United, a proud sponsor of high school football across the state of Oklahoma, and very easy to do business with when it comes to lending money for your home. So call JD, call Courtney Van Landingham, call the crew at First United. They'll get you set up and ready to go when it's time to make the purchase of your next house. Teeing it up at the 40-yard line. Owasso kicking from right to left on the radio dial, and 2 men back at the 8-yard line, Blaine Martin and one other for the Norman North Timberwolves. If you're just joining us, Owasso up 10-0 after a field goal. 31-yarder off the toe of Christian Johnson. Here's the end-over-end kick. It is going to be fielded at the 15-yard line, and here come the Timberwolves on the run. They'll get to the 25, up to the 27, down to the 30-yard line. 11:43 left to play here.
Clouds beginning to move in from the north a bit. I don't know that we have any precipitation.
I hope not.
In the forecast, especially for me, or that booth is going to get really crowded when I come back inside. But I tell you what, Grant, it's really kind of fun to be back out here in the stands, even though it's on the opponent's sideline. It's, I mean, just a lot more energy and excitement out here sometimes that we miss out there being booked up there in the booth.
Let's see if we can go down to Christian on the sidelines. His microphone is within range. We'll talk to him. Christian, can you hear us? Well, we don't have you on our side, but we may come back to you here in just a second. I'm going to patch you in over the phone line. Christian, what's the mood down on the Owasso sidelines going up 10-0?
Well, it's great to see a line understands how their blocking works, and everybody knows that they're killing it on the offensive line right now. Luis Boiso's getting all the praise from his teammates, and they just run back to the sideline, high fives everywhere.
All right, a quick snap to the Norman North quarterback, Romaldo. We'll check in with Christian here in just a little bit. His ball carrier getting a short gain on the play there to bring up second down at about 9, Steve.
Still, the Rams doing a good job on the interior of the line. Norman North staying with the running game, trying to get Blaine Martin broken loose there inside. They've been moving their stud. We haven't talked about him much. Cole Mashburn, he moves from linebacker to defensive line, but also running back, but he's been the lead running back blocking for Martin here in the backfield. Norman North staying primarily on the run.
From the 17, second and 8 for Romaldo. He's making some adjustments here. Handoff, Martin up the right side, gets to the 20, flags flying on the play. Looks like it's going to be holding, maybe, and they're going to bring him down to about the 30, but we'll see what the yellow laundry's for.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold here on the outside, as I believe that may have been Cayman Sievers unable to get off the block because he was being pulled down to the ground.
By the way, with my redneckery engineering a moment ago, were you able to understand Christian, Steve?
I heard a bit of what he was saying and sounded really good. It's good, and I'm glad to have him back on the sideline giving us that different perspective. Always good to know what the Rams are talking about and what adjustments are being made. We can see the Rams huddled up under that Owasso Ram tent where they've got all the technology to be able to look at what's going on and make those adjustments.
We'll check in with him through the ball game. 10:47 left to go in this first half of play. It's second down and 17 for the Norman North Timberwolves as Romaldo getting ready to take the snap, handoff, first man through. Martin trying to get right up the middle of the field. He'll get to the 15-yard line, maybe to the 16, and that'll be a significant 8-yard gain there to bring up third down and about 9.
Yeah, I thought Ahmad Triplett was going to be able to come in from that right side, but he got blown up out of the play by that lead blocker once again. So what looked like wasn't going to be anything at all, they were able to manage just about half a yard, or actually a little bit more. 3rd and 9, still 3rd and long.
10:04, the clock rolling. Rams leading 10-0 if you're just
two-minute motion.
Got 2 men in motion to the left here, and Romaldo with the handoff. Martin up the right side, gets to the 17, almost up to the 18-yard line.
Jaden Thomason again. I tell you what, Grant, we talked about it in the breakfast with Coach Blankenship. We had some hard knocks in those early games because of young players, but we're seeing them learn, mature, and make adjustments. Jaden Thomason, one of those youngsters here tonight that is showing the growth. This Ram defense, they've already been good, but really starting to gel and come together now.
Don't forget, you can eat breakfast with Coach B Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock at Trails Inn Barbecue. Call Dusty Keeney and the Owasso Football Booster Club, and
or just show up.
Or just show up. You'll know what Steve's talking about. You can order this
fun
Maori special with bacon and scrambled eggs. So here comes the kick. It is going to be wobbly, and Gage Laney is going to catch it at the 45-yard line. He's on his horse as he keeps
nice
running. Gets to the 50 down to the 46. Flags flying. He approaches the 40-yard line.
Oh my goodness. Omar Barker just earholed one of the Norman North players, and I guarantee there's some cobwebs being shaken out of the helmet there.
Coming up at halftime, we will have a sit-down interview with our man Dee Sokolowski of First Bank of Owasso. He is, of course, our halftime guest, a major sponsor of Ram Athletics, both in the stadium, on the field, and on the radio. So appreciate Dee and the crew for sitting down with us at halftime tonight. Block in the back is the call. To the left now, ready to take the snap, dropping back to pass. Oh, he tried to throw it to Peyton Lusk. It was off his fingertip.
Well, he tried to take off running before he made the catch. And again, maybe just some of the inexperience there by this first-year player coming out for the Rams. Very athletic. I've said it 3 or 4 times, Grant, but I'm watching these Norman North corners, and they're anywhere now. I mean, one is 10 yards off the receiver on the outside. Both corners are 10 yards off the receiver.
Trips to the right, Kenny back to throw this time, slinging it over toward Lusk, and it falls incomplete near the 42-yard line, and that'll Bring up a third down.
Yeah, that's not really what you want to see. I mean, I know Norman North has given everything in underneath, but the running game with Isaiah Jacobs has been very successful. So now in this 3rd and long, an obvious passing down here for the Rams. Mario Kirby will come into the ball game.
Good to see him back.
Yes. Trying to shake off the effects. I think, Grant, correct me here, maybe twisted an ankle or a knee. I think it was an ankle trying to get rid of.
Yeah. Pesky injuries there. Keeney back to throw. Connects with Kirby at the 40, or Jacobs at the 45, 50, down to the 50, 45, 40, down to 40.
The Rams sideline is going crazy because Jacobs just lowered his shoulder and ran over the corner. Blake Burns
got to just 30.
Destroyed him.
7-yard line, and that'll be a Westerman Financial Services first down.
Hey, and I'm not saying that critically, because I'm going to tell you, I would not want to get in front of Isaiah Jacobs when he's got the wheels rolling downhill.
And off to Jacobs, he's on his horse, the 40, 35, 30, 20, 20, down to the 15, down to the 10, and brought down at about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and so now when he gets into the secondary, they're just a little bit slower coming back up to try to hit him face mask to face mask.
I need to do better at counting backwards tonight. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. And now, Keeney on the keeper. Up the middle he goes, up to the 5, up to the 2-yard line. That's where he's brought down, 7-yard gain.
May have even gotten down close to the 1.
Yeah, he was looking like if he had had any more of a leap there, he would have been in the end zone. What do you bet he keeps it here?
I don't know. It might be Isaiah Jacobs' territory.
Never know. Oh, there you go. Isaiah Jacobs trying to drill up the middle. He tries to push forward. Is he in? Yes. Touchdown, Owasso Rams. And it's 16-0 with 7:44 left to play in the first half.
Honestly, Grant, they had him caught for a loss, and I believe it was Mashburn, instead of making the tackle with his teammate, tried to pull out the football and jarred Mashburn off of the runner, and then Jacob is able to continue in for the touchdown.
Christian Johnson trying the extra point here. We'll see what he can do, trying to make it a 17-0 ball game. It is through the uprights and good, and he does just that. 7:44 left to play. First half action. Take a break and be back for the kick right after this. You're listening to Owasso Ram Football presented by InsideOwasso.com on 100.1 KYFM. Tonight, and with another RCB Bang by the Number Stats update, here's Steve.
Well, we talked about the punt and even getting the penalty on that punt, Grant, but the Rams able to put together 6 plays, 57-yard touchdown drive. It only took 1 minute and 12 seconds. A lot of that credited to the fact of Isaiah Jacobs and the big run he had running over a lot of the defenders and capping it off with the 1-yard touchdown run.
Kick is going to be fielded at about the 12-yard line, as the ball carrier is going to be brought back, dragged back to where he caught it. Wow.
Yeah, that's inside the 10. Grant Van Landingham in on the tackle. Tell you what, there's a little more hop in the step of the Rams here tonight, Grant, and it is starting to become contagious.
First down and 10 from the 15-yard line, as the Norman North Timberwolves will move from left to right. Sorry, the reason I'm chuckling, I just took a picture of Steve Mowry under these green lights.
Do I look like a Martian?
Oh, you do.
I know. I was thinking, I'm writing down here, and everything I'm writing is looking in green. I look up, the LEDs above me here are in green Norman North lights.
I'm going to send it to you. It can be your new Twitter profile picture. Here we go, 7:36 to play. Norman North with Romaldo back in at quarterback. He'll take it off the right hash mark. Handoff, first man through. Martin is going to be stopped and stuffed. Oh, a flag flying.
Yeah, got to be careful about continuation of the play as Aiden Odell in to make the tackle once again.
So, Aiden Odell with a good stop there for Owasso. Referee's talking some things over after the flag thrown. And it's going to be on Owasso, Steve. They're going to move the Timberwolves up. Face mask, the penalty on the Owasso Rams. They're going to replay the first down and give them 5 yards. 17-0 our score. If you're just joining us, 7:30 left to play here. First half action from Norman on a.
It's gorgeous out here. I could get used to doing this outside.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not going to ask, so you guys probably would too for me to be outside.
Well, you know, this would be Renee's dream. She would just turn you down.
Exactly.
You know? Here's a
nice job on the tackle by Dawson Adams coming up. It looked like Martin was going to have a big gain on the play, but he just got tripped up at the last moment. We're going to have an injury.
He got to the 22-yard line.
Injury on the play for Norman North.
Yeah, that's going to bring up 2nd and 4 after the injury is sorted out. We'll take a 30-second break with him and be back right after this. Listening to Owasso Ram football on KYFM, presented by InsideOwasso.com.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
If it doesn't look good down for the Timberwolves here as the injured players.
That left ankle, well, not much.
They're swinging him by both feet, you know. He's not kind of tenderly getting him off the field, and that left leg doesn't look good at all.
That looks like Bo Kimmett, a 6'3", 245-pound senior tight end, so hopefully it doesn't look like it's going to be a situation, Grant, where he can come back this evening in this ball game, but hopefully it's not one of those season-ending injuries, especially for one of those senior players.
My leg's ever swinging like that, just shoot me. I'm telling you, that looks painful.
Yeah.
2nd down and 4 from the 22-yard line for Romaldo and the Norman North Timberwolves. Handoff to Martin as he tries to push up the left side. He can't get past the line of scrimmage. Actually brought back 2 yards as 3rd down will bring up a nice defensive stop for the Owasso Rams.
Hilton Mosby just blew up the interior of that defense, and there's a guy that's been injured, been playing hurt, but looks like he's starting to feel better. He just jumped the middle of the line and got a hold of Martin and rolled him down on the ground. They're going to give him a little bit of forward progress. 3rd and 5 here for the Timberwolves.
6'8" the phone, Christian. What you got for us?
Well, you guys probably know Athletic Director Zach Duffield played some baseball at ORU back in the day.
Yes.
You heard about that?
Yes.
Letter-winning first baseman, 97 and 98. He's the ball boy tonight.
Uh-oh. Where's Jackson?
He's doing a great job. He made a scoop in, when I would have called a scoop and score, he said he didn't quite sprint the way you see Isaiah Jacobs sprint tonight. I'm just happy to report that your athletic director is a true leader over here on the sidelines tonight.
All right, well, I'm glad to hear that. You tell him to keep it up down there. We hope that he doesn't get injured like Mr. Kimmett did from Norman.
Yeah, well, let's hope he's all right.
All right, thank you. That's Christian Favalora with inside information, Steve.
Well, and let me say this, Grant. Jackson Duffield, the son, is usually the ball boy. So I'm going to guess with athletic director Duffield over there doing that Jackson's job is well secure. Okay, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but Jackson is the professional, seasoned ball boy there on the sideline for the Rams.
Heck of a, is it lacrosse player?
He does it all.
Yeah. Back to pass, Will Keeney. He'll sling it up the left side of the field here, looking for it. Oh, and he gets Grant Van Landingham.
What a great adjustment to the football. Will put a lot of air under that ball. That ball was thrown about 50 yards. Grant Van Leningham made a fantastic adjustment, using his body to get inside the defender and make the catch. A big play here for the Rams with 5:49 to go in the second quarter.
The quintessential Westerman Financial Services first down tonight. From the 31-yard line, they'll have it 1st and 10. Lusk split to the left, Van Landingham split to the right, and now Keeney with the handoff to Jacobs. Down to the line of scrimmage he goes, not much further.
He got caught in the backfield that time by Mashburn. And I tell you what, this Cole Mashburn. He's given the Rams problems for a couple of years, still doing it tonight. Got a couple of schools that have been looking at him, and he is a very athletic ball player. You got to know where number 46 is going to line up and then set up your defense.
2nd and 10, Rams at the 31-yard line. Back to throw is Keeney looking. He's scrambling to the right now. Throws it up the right side of the field. Nobody there to get it.
Oh, Grant, we got by with one that time.
Yeah,
you hear the crowd here.
I know what you're talking about.
Hudson Mosby was doing the best he could to keep the left defensive end off his quarterback, but I'm afraid Hudson may have gotten a handful of some extra jersey or whatnot.
Yeah, that's what the call we were expecting there.
Yeah.
So they're going to say intentional grounding on Will Keeney and knock it back another 10 yards.
So even if you throw the other flag, you're going to decline that one and take this penalty here. So I guess for all practical purposes, it evens out for the Timberwolves.
Well, they got what they wanted.
17-0, the Rams leading here in this district matchup.
Boy, we've got some rather salty and vocal soccer moms out here.
Easy.
5:04 left to play here. First half action. 3rd down and about 20 to go here from the 43-yard line.
Look for a screen or maybe just a simple run.
Trips to the left and Keeney.
Or maybe a screen to Isaiah Jacobs.
With Jacobs next to him in the gun off the right hash mark here. He'll switch places with him. And now Keeney back to throw, slinging it up the middle of the field, aiming for Peyton Lusk. Intercepted. And no, hang on.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, Peyton Lusk got interfered with his attempt to the ball. Now, both players are allowed to make a play on the football, but the defender was making a play on Peyton Lusk and hit him. So this will move the ball a bit. This was the correct call. The Norman North fans aren't going to like that because, well, it's against them. But this is the correct call. However, it will not be a first down for the Rams. The yardage will be marked off, and it'll still be 3rd down. And a long 3rd down.
Defensive pass interference there.
Well, not as long as I thought it was going to be, but still. 3rd and about 7.
4:59 left to go in the first half.
This could be a big play here if the Rams can overcome and move the chains on this 3rd down play.
So, Dawson Adams and Van Landingham are split to the left. Peyton Lusk split to the right. Keeney ready to take the snap here.
Timeout, Rams.
And Owasso's going to call a timeout. We'll take it with him back in 30 seconds. This is Owasso Ram Football on KYFL. $17-0, 4:59 left to go in this first half. Grant Merrill, Steve Mowry, along with you, Christian Favalora, working the sidelines for us tonight here in beautiful Norman, Oklahoma, USA. Couldn't have picked a better night for football, Steve.
Man, it is a gorgeous night out here. A little bit humid, but very manageable here at this time of year. I was hoping that I would be able to pull a temp up for you, but I'm guessing we're running about 82, actually 81 out here right now.
Staff meteorologist Steve Mowry with a report.
Storm chaser.
Yes.
Storm chaser.
Twins to the left, and back to throw is Will Keeney off the right hash mark. He'll sling it left side. It was intended for Dawson Adams. Went off of his fingertips, and we're lucky that wasn't picked off.
Yeah, but that's one Dawson Adams will come over and tell you he probably should have caught that, and it would have been enough for a first down. Now let's see what Coach Blankenship decides to do here, Grant, because you're kind of in that too short to punt, too long to kick a field goal, and he is going to leave his offense out on the field. I like this call, leading 17-0. If nothing else, it just says, hey, defense, we trust you to make a stop if we don't overcome this fourth down.
Keeney ready to take the snap, does so, slings it left side to Isaiah Jacobs, and he is
the Grant.
6-yard line.
Grant, he had a chance to get the first down, and he stutter step, tried to do too much. I think Isaiah Jacobs had a chance to just go ahead and run over the defender and get the first down. He was about 2 yards shy, but he had his momentum going here on the near side, but he stutter stepped, and before he could make a cut back to the inside, the defender got some help from another green shirt. And unfortunately, and I think that's just a product of not having the game experience this year, having missed those first 4 games. I think he'll be fine, but boy, I like the play call, and we just missed the opportunity to execute that.
That will bring the Norman North offense back onto the field.
And I say that saying I'd give it to him again next time because he's that good.
1st and 10, Norman North at their own 25-yard line. Romaldo, the quarterback, with Twins to the left, 1 man out to the right. Handoff. Martin is getting nowhere. Fumble on the play. Who's got it? Owasso is signaling to the Tars. We'll see.
No, Martin was able to fall on it and come back up with the ball. But as soon as Martin received the handoff, there were 3 white shirts right there in the backfield in front of him.
We could always wave our arm in the spirit of optimism, right?
Yeah, and I got to be careful about yelling fumble too loud here out in the stands on the Norman North sideline because a few folks turned around and I told them my name was Grant Merrill. And well, so,
thank God. 2nd down and 11. After driving here with you, you're already wanted by the police. So Ronaldo back to throw, slinging it up the left side, and it's caught. My goodness, down at the 43-yard line. Big first down for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, that ball was in the air forever. Gage Lady and Omar Barker just a little bit slow to recover. That ball thrown from the right hash mark over to the other side. That's going to be a first down for the Timberwolves.
Timeout on the field. Our score 17-0. 3:52 left to go in the first half. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back right after this. Owasso Ram football on KYFM. Taking the snap is Romaldo, but flags flying on the play. We're going to say false start on the offense and replay the 2nd down. Steve, real quickly, I want to note that over in Sand Springs, they're having a prayer rally tonight for head football coach Dustin Kennard. He's having a major health crisis, and I just want to say publicly that from the Owasso Ram family, our thoughts and prayers are with him and the Sandite family as they kind of face this head on. Second down and 11. Romaldo screen pass across the middle to Martin. He'll get up to the 45, up to the 48-yard line. Malachi Gatewood, actually, the ball carrier that handed it off to Martin so much it almost just seemed natural, but that'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Timberwolves. Twins to each side now. Romaldo ready to take the snap here. We'll see what he can do.
Taking a lot of time.
Yeah, he is. 7 seconds left on the play clock. Now he'll drop back to throw. Slinging it up the right side of the field. Connecting with an open receiver at the Owasso 45-yard line. On the run there for Norman North was Jake Roberts, the tight end, and that's a 1st down for Norman North.
Hey, Grant, real quick, just to expound on what you said, absolutely great job to send our thoughts and prayers out. Dustin Kennard. It wasn't too many years ago that Sand Springs was really struggling in the football program, even talking about just totally doing away with it, and Kennard came in and revived it, not only just to keep it going, but they have been very competitive, even making it to state championship games.
Absolutely. Handoff, Martin up the middle. He'll get up to the 41-yard line.
But I have great admiration for Dustin Kennard being kind of a hometown guy, coming back and took some time. He's just a hard worker, but certainly that's just the game of football and the game of life, much more important, and certainly thinking of him and the battle he has right now. And I know he's got the support of not only the people there in Sand Springs, but around the community and especially the football community.
And that's an incredible community, admittedly, to have the support of. Had the chance to meet Rod Sitton and some of the folks over there. They're good people. Back to throw is Romaldo. He'll connect with an open receiver at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for Norman North. And Jacob Switzer.
That's a familiar name.
Yeah, and good reason. He's the grandson of Barry.
Ah. That's a familiar name.
Yeah. We know him.
Had a chance to introduce him the other night down at the Summit Club.
Yeah, y'all were running buddies.
I'm telling you.
Did he pick up your steak dinner?
I doubt he remembered me at all. Especially after that night.
1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. That's why I said, I mean, if he comes up here and wants to do color, let him. He might get an FCC fine, but and a pickoff. Back to throw is Romaldo. Gage Laney with the interception. Extracurricular activity after he picks him up with a flag fly.
Yep. And the Rams, what do we got? 3 timeouts left? No, we got 2 timeouts left. Hey, let's see what we can do. Gage Laney, the sophomore. How exciting is that?
Man.
Awesome. He read that like a book, just let the receiver drive him down and then cut right in front of the ball's path and made the pick.
We have a personal foul on green, 15-yard.
15-yard 1st down penalty. Norman North has assessed the penalty, and that'll move up Owasso to about the 40-yard line. 38 to be exact, with 45 seconds left to go. I wouldn't mind seeing punching it in one more time before the half. Back to throw is Keeney, scrambling to the right. He'll sling it up the right side of the field, and he was aiming for Keelan Carty, overthrew it just a little bit, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Well, that tells you what Coach Blankenship's thinking. We want to score again here before halftime with 38 seconds left to go on the clock.
By any means necessary.
2 timeouts.
2nd and 10 from the 38. Twins to each side of the line here off the left hash mark. Keeney ready to take it. Dropping back to throw, he will sling it up the middle, connecting with the open receiver up to the 39-yard line. The Rams will take it. And
Preston Hendricks on the reception.
Got to call his name at quarterback some last week. 17-0 with 28 seconds left to go in the half, and we've got a timeout on the field to take it with him back in 30 seconds. This is Owasso Ram football on KYFM. 48-yard line. 28 seconds left to play in this first half. Grant Merrill, Steve Mallory, Christopher Avalora along with you tonight from Harv Collins Field in beautiful Norman, Oklahoma, just in the shadow of Owen Field and the University of Oklahoma. I see Christian Favalora marching up here.
Coming up the stands. He may have a report to give you.
Talk to him at halftime.
And he may have to give it to you now as we have a timeout again on the field.
Well, another timeout taken. We'll see what's happening. Let's take another 30-second break back after this on KYFM.
Bob, is my water up there?
Down in 10 for the Owasso Rams. 28 seconds left to go in this first half of play. Third down and 10 from the 38. We'll see what they decide to dial up here after 2 timeouts, Steve. Trips to the right this time. Keeney off the right hash mark. Back to throw. He'll sling it up the right side to Lusk. Lusk at the 40, up to the 45-yard line.
Out of bounds.
That'll bring up the gain of about 6 on the play.
Got some hometown clock working there as they let a couple extra seconds run off. Don't blame them for that.
Different time zone down here in Norman.
It's okay. They actually did it against themselves because the Rams had a punting formation.
So they'll punt it away with 21 seconds left to go here. And maybe after last week they'll fake it. You never know.
It was successful, but I don't know that the situation here dictates that.
Well, still fun to
It is fun to think about.
Yes. 4th down and 7. Alex Haight, the kicker.
Good punt.
Nice punt is going to bounce at about the 27-yard line. 13 seconds left to play. That'll give Norman North time to do about 1 or 2 more plays the most.
Kind of looked like your 9 wedge out at Baby Golf Ranch on that 9 green, drawing it right back down the hill to you. Christian Favalora did have a bit of an update, Grant, and I said, as he was coming up here, I said, hey, looks like the Rams are having fun over there on the sideline. He says they are having fun. He says the Rams' offensive line is really getting geared up, and having a physical running back like Isaiah Jacobs in the ball game has really made a tremendous difference.
Tell him to turn his microphone on. He's right here. We'll see if we can get a quick report from him.
From the 27-yard line, first down.
Christian, if you can turn your microphone on, you had a report for us. See if we can get him here. I'm not hearing you. Hang on. First down and 10, Romaldo. We'll get him in the booth at halftime.
Okay.
Back to pass, Romaldo off the left hash mark, slinging it up the right side of the field. It's overthrown. And with 7 seconds left, they'll have time for one more play. Second down and 10.
Brings up second down.
17-0, our score here, halftime action. We'll see what Norman North draws up for what's potentially the last play of the half here.
I'm going to guess just a handoff and go in down 17-0.
Romaldo ready to take the snap. Handoff. Up the middle goes Martin. He's going to be pummeled, and that will round out the half. 2 quarters in the books here. We've reached halftime, and when we come back, we're going to check in with D. Sokolowski over at First Bank of Owasso. He's our halftime guest, and later in the halftime program, we'll have a RCB Bank by the number stats update. 17-0 our score. Stay with us. More coming up. This is Owasso Ram football on KYFL.